Okay, Jersey, so we're going to talk about stewardship today with spiritual disciplines. Now, within spiritual disciplines, stewardship, think of that as being like a manager. So you don't own it, but you're in charge of it, right? So you can decide, I want to do this or not do this with whatever you are given. Now, that can be time, it can be your gifts or your talents, it could be money. A lot of times when we talk about stewardship, we usually talk about money, right? I do want to touch that briefly, but I am assuming that a lot of you have heard that. Here's the thing, Malachi 3 says, we are robbing God because of our tithes and offerings. Now, I don't know about you. I do not want to rob God. I do not want him to accuse me of that. And what he's saying is, look, all of this is mine, and I'm just asking you to give a little bit back. And we forget that. So Psalm 24:1 says that the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Now, we say this, right? But we don't really mean it sometimes. We say it in church or the Christian circles, but then outside of that, what do we say? We say things like, my money, my life. Stop wasting my time. No, that's my car, right? And those are true in a sense, but I think sometimes we forget, theologically speaking, that they are all God's. Everything belongs to God, and he has given them to us for his glory. Remember, spiritual disciplines are for the purpose of godliness, for the purpose of God's glory. Now, with money, some people think, when I make more, it'll be easier to tithe. Unfortunately, that's just not true. Statistics show that the more money you make, the less that people give percentage-wise. And that's really sad. So here's the deal. Start now while you can, and then as God increases and sometimes decreases, you just continue to remain faithful to what you are earning, what he is giving you. And I would just immediately, from allowance, from a paycheck, from mowing a grass, from birthday, any kind of gift that you receive, I would just take 10% at minimum right away, put that in an envelope, don't think about it, don't look at it, and when the offering comes around or however you decide to give, pray over that. God, I want to give this with a joyful heart, not out of regret or as I think it's mine, but just praise you that you're going to use this for your kingdom, for your glory. Now, what is another way that God uses stewardship for his glory? Well, it's our time and our gifts or our talents. Some of you think, I don't have any gifts, right? Because you look at this person that you wish you could speak that well, you wish you knew as much about the Bible as they did, or whatever your desire is. But listen, that's not true. See, God, through the Holy Spirit, has chosen which gifts and which talents every single believer was to get. And if God gave them to you, that means you have a responsibility to use them well for his kingdom, for his glory. And so he gave those to you for a purpose, right? So because that purpose is to use them for his glory, you have to figure out first, what are these talents? What are these gifts that I have? How can I do that? Well, I would suggest, if you don't really know yet, there are some paper surveys that you can take, and that might give you a good idea. However, find somebody who knows you. Find someone who's wise. Sometimes other people see things in you that you just can't see, and they'll be able to help you with those gifts and how you can use them for God's glory. Now, what I try to do at the end of my day, before I go to sleep, is I try to take a mental movie of my whole day. I start in the morning, I go throughout my day. What did I do well? What did I not do well? What were some missed opportunities? How did I use my time? How did I use my talents? Where was I in a hurry and I missed a gospel conversation opportunity, right? And we're always going to make mistakes. However, the more that we reflect and the more that this is on our mind and on our hearts, the more likely as we progress day after day, we're going to be able to use our time, our talents, our resources that God has given us for his glory.